Hello, creators, and welcome to Rediscovering Be Something Wonderful, where we revisit timeless classics from deep within our video archives. What if trying to stay in the state of your wish fulfilled is the very thing keeping you from manifesting and creating everything you want? What if you could never actually lose fulfillment? Because fulfillment isn't a state you have to maintain, but the truth of who you already are. In this video, you'll rediscover why non-attachment isn't letting go of what you desire, but letting go of the struggle to get it, to keep it, and to make it happen. You'll discover why trying to maintain the wish fulfilled assumes you can somehow fall out of it, why temporary thoughts, feelings, and circumstances can never change the I am that you are, and why true fulfillment requires no effort. Because you don't have to hold on to fulfillment. I am is fulfillment, and I am is holding everything, including you. Now, let's rediscover the extraordinary simplicity of consciously creating the life of your wildest dreams. Welcome back to Be Something Wonderful.
A few questions came up in the sessions yesterday regarding the idea of non-attachment. And one of them asked, Tom, the method or process of non-attachment seems to contradict the process of imagining your wish fulfilled or maintaining the state of wish fulfilled. I was wondering if we could talk about that. And he also asked, how do I maintain the state of wish fulfilled? I just can't seem to maintain it. Well, guys, we're going to talk about this today and more. Here's the first thing I want to say with non-attachment. Non-attachment is not a method or a process. It's a state of being. There's no contradiction with any other method or process because it's not a method or process. And there are never any contradictions, right? The non-attachment is the ultimate state of wish fulfilled, and that's what we're going to show you today. It is a state of total and absolute non-resistance, being one with everything you desire, where you are not clinging to anything judged positive or negative, wanted or unwanted in the 3D world or outcomes. You're not judging any outcomes. You're not clinging to any outcomes. Do you hear this? You're not even clinging to your desire. The non-attachment is being in that state of non-resistance, being what you desire, right? All thoughts, all feelings, all images, all perceptions, all sensations and conditions and events are temporary forms that come and go from, and return to consciousness or I am awareness. Do you see that? Everything else is temporary forms. It's your consciousness, your I am awareness, that unconditional consciousness is the only thing that doesn't change. All that other stuff changes. In other words, what is consciousness? That's your ultimate state of fulfillment. It's peace, it's love, it's total fulfillment. That never changes. But those temporary thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, images, all of those are temporary and they come and go. And non-attachment means you're not attached to any of those changing images. You're going to let them come and go. That's powerful. Let's unpack this a little bit more. Remember, it's about identifying with and as your higher self, the intelligence and awareness behind all temporary forms. It's that unchangeable presence of your I am. Because here we are normally, when we ask this question, that non-attachment seems to be a contradiction to the state of wish fulfilled. And how do I maintain my wish fulfilled? We're assuming a separation. Do you see this here? We're assuming that this screen is consciousness, conscious awareness. Imagine a screen that has no boundaries, that's not bounded by anything. It has no beginning and no end. But I'm using it like a movie screen because I think we've used that analogy before. The movie or the images that appear and disappear on the screen have no effect on the screen ever. That I am awareness never changes, right? The movie does, but the movie has no effect. What's happening in the movie has no effect on the screen. Just like those temporary images and conditions in 3D, your thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions have no effect on who you really are, that I am. But you're seeing it as a separate, you're seeing yourself separate from what you want, right? It's implied separation from your desires and your wish fulfilled. So how do I stay in the state of wish fulfilled? Well, you are fulfillment. It's not about staying in it. That's what keeps you separate from it. Do you hear this? When you ask that question, you're assuming you're separate from it. There's no way you can stay in it because you are fulfillment and you're thinking you're not. Do you see this, right? This is attachment is identifying with these outcomes and all that, and all of these images and perceptions as that is all that you are. Meaning, I am only these images, I'm only these perceptions, and only these thoughts. But you couldn't be if they're always changing. Who you really are. Yes, they are a part of you when they appear, when they're present on the screen of consciousness. They're a part of you. But they're not all that you are. And they're not the real identity of you, the I am. They're just what you are conditioning at the moment. Do you hear this, right? These temporary conditions, these thoughts, these feelings, these images, these perceptions, are you when they are present, right? Made out of that awareness of what you are, but only a part of all of you. They're just ripples on the surface of your being. That's all these images are. They're just ripples. Yes, they're you when they're presenting themselves because it's part of the awareness. But it's a very small portion of you. It's that 0.1% that comes in and out and changes in every moment, right? They're ripples on that surface of your being. I forget what spiritual teacher said that, and I love that, right? They're just ripples on the surface of your being or on the surface of your awareness. So look at it this way. Here you are, imagining, for instance, you're imagining your wish fulfilled, but you're imagining it as it's separate from you. Right? Separation, attachment. You're identified with the form in the movie as who you are. You're seeking fulfillment. You believe fulfillment is something you find, that you rest in, and then you lose. When you ask that question, how do I maintain the state of wish fulfilled? You're seeing it as a separation. You're seeing the limitation. You're seeing it as an attachment, something you're going to attach to, or you're going to lose. Do you see this, guys? You believe that it's something you find, then you rest in, but then you lose. That something are your thoughts, feelings, images, perceptions, and fulfillment. About fulfillment, not fulfillment. Do you hear this? They're just thoughts, feelings, perceptions, and images about fulfillment, but they're not fulfillment. That's what's going on here. But here, when you imagine your wish fulfilled, you now know that you are the screen of consciousness, that it is within you. Do you see this? This is you as consciousness. And there, the images are changing within you, but you know that they're not who you are totally, that you're conditioning those, that you're not attached to them as who you are. You're not attached and identified with them as defining who you are. You know that they're appearing on the screen. That's non-separation. That's non-attachment. You are the screen that is unaffected by the changing forms. In other words, you're unaffected by the movie. Just like a movie screen is unaffected by the movie. You're unaffected by all of it, right? That's you being fulfillment. Whatever happens in the movie never adds or takes away from anything on the screen. Just like you with consciousness, nothing in your 3D experience can add or take anything away from who you really are, or that I am awareness. Nothing that ever's happened or will happen or is happening affects who you really are. They're just temporary images, ripples on the surface of your being. But you can, while you're here, while you're in the game, you can imagine what you want those ripples to be. Do you see this? Without identifying with them, without being attached to them as who you are. Here's attachment, here's not attachment. Guys, this is big. Remember, just like a movie, whatever happens in the movie, the bad guys, the good guys, the happy endings, the sad endings, never affects the screen. And when the movie ends, it's just a blank screen again. Do you see this? That's the same with your 3D experience. Those thoughts, those feelings, those perceptions, those images, right? All of those are temporary and change. You're seeking fulfillment out there. where it's temporary and fleeting, versus knowing that you are fulfillment, you are the screen. That never changes. That fulfillment changes. This never does. Do you get the difference here, guys? So, knowing this means you can imagine, assume, and live in the end of your wish fulfilled, or be or do whatever your heart desires without being attached to the outcome. That's what we mean. There is attachment, non-attachment is not a process or a method to get something. It's a state of being, a state of knowing, right? That now you can imagine and assume whatever you want without being attached to the outcome. Because you know you create it, right? Being attached or grasping for certain outcomes now makes no sense. No effort is required to be who you already are and always will be. I am awareness or fulfillment. Or remember, fulfillment and fulfilled is your nature. Being fulfilled or fulfillment is your nature. No efforts required, but efforts required when you believe you're separate from it, when you believe you have to hold on to that state of wish fulfilled. That's exhausting, because now you're trying to be who you're not, and that is tiring. Trying to be who you're not is exhausting. You're fulfillment. But if you're identifying with those temporary thoughts, feelings, and perceptions and believing that you have to acquire fulfillment, that you have to find fulfillment, that you got to seek it and then rest in it and that you might lose it, now that's exhausting, because now you're trying to be someone that you're not, right? It's exhausting to try to be something you're not. You're a separate self seeking fulfillment, trying to stay in fulfillment. Attachment is just exhausting. That's why you feel so exhausted. Attachment is exhausted. Non-attachment is free. It's not a method. It's not a process. It's who you are. You are fulfillment, right? Wow, that's big. So stop trying to control, change, dwell on, resist the temporary conditions, the thoughts, images, perceptions, feelings on the screen of awareness, right? They're just temporary. You're the screen. Right? You're getting all riled up about the movie, right? And it's just a movie, and that's going to change. Instead, change the movie reel by imagining and assuming your desired end. We've talked about changing the movie reel, changing the movie role, right? That's how you do it. Instead of getting all upset and trying to change and fight the screen, right? Because these are just images on the screen. Change the movie role. And hand it, and then assume what you want. Set your intention. And then hand it over to infinite intelligence. That's it. It's done. Set your intention and hand it over. And allow it to appear on the screen of your I am awareness. That's how you change the movie screen. The movie role, right? Instead, change the movie role by imagining, assuming your desired end. In other words, setting your attention and then handing it over to your higher self, handing it over to infinite intelligence, allowing it to appear on the screen of that I am awareness. Wow, that's big. Non-attachment really means to stop clinging to things, either holding on to or trying to get rid of them. Do you hear this? Trying to hold on to fulfillment, or hold on to a desire, or trying to get rid of 3D conditions, or trying to hold on to the current 3D conditions. All of that keeps you attached. Non-attachment is letting all that go. They're not who you really are. You are the screen, untouched, unaffected by the 3D circumstances and events and things that come up, unaffected by the movie that's projecting on it, right? That's so big today. So non-attachment is your natural state of being. It's your I am. It's the screen of consciousness without beginning or without end. It's everything, everywhere, all at once, just like the movie. Nothing can be added or taken away from it, ever. It's complete. You are complete. It's the knowing that everything you desire, hear this, everything you desire is desiring you. There's no separation. When you say, I desire love or I desire fulfillment, you're assuming that you're some subject that has an object, that love of fulfillment is outside of you. When in fact it's not. It's love is desired. The subject, I, and the object, love, are the same. It's you. It's fulfillment. And it desires to know itself. Do you hear this? This is how the passive voice is formed in English, right? The subject and object become the object becomes the subject. And then the subject and the object are now the same. Love is desired. By whom? By you, but by your higher self. Do you see this? The subject and the object are the same. It's love. It's fulfillment. It's not this where I desire love. It's not an object. It's this. It's non-attachment. Love is desired by that higher you because you are love. It's you desiring to know yourself. That's what desire is. That desire is just love, right? It's the attraction. Desire is about attracting love to love itself. That's what it is. It's to know yourself. You are I am, your love, your fulfillment. That's what we're talking about. And there was a good example for another client that I talked to yesterday. This person had manifested a new job. He wanted something remote, manifested it. Then as he was working there were other people that they were starting to leave, a lot of people. And he thought to himself, boy, it would be nice if they gave me a retention bonus. It was just a thought, a light touch. Him knowing, not attached to anything, him knowing that it's within him. The next day, his boss came and said, you know, we've got something for you. We're going to give you a retention bonus. This is how it's done. Then he did the same thing with a car that he wanted. A dream car that somebody else already had a deposit on and we're going to get the car. He held in that knowing. He didn't look at the temporary fleeting conditions of 3D. He knew that he is all of that. That it's not that he desires fulfillment, that he is fulfillment. And of course, he got the car, right? The car, the other person didn't get it, the deposit was dropped, and he got exactly his dream car. That's what we're talking about, guys. That's really the ultimate state of manifesting all you want is the state of non-attachment. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. We have a group called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. That's a totally open group where everybody is just kind of sharing insights and guidance with each other and stories. It's a beautiful group. You can join that. It's open to you. Also, join us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, or just go to our website anytime at tomkearin.com or besomethingwonderful.com, where all the information is. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, we'll see you soon.